Good day and welcome back, DimTubers. Today we are doing the Q&A video. Now, I will preface the entire thing apologizing because this is probably going to be pretty long. There's a ton of questions and that's really awesome. I halfway didn't expect this many comments and questions, and there's a ton of really good ones, and I gotta be honest, I didn't spend a lot of time going over these because I figured it would be kind of better, more honest, maybe even if I didn't spend a lot of time studying the questions. So let's get started because like I said, there were a ton. There was really no good way to keep track of all the questions as they came in because YouTube is kind of funny, and yeah, when I look at my video and try to look at all the comments, it just doesn't show all of them, which I don't understand why. So I'm kind of going by my email notifications. If I do skip, if you know for a fact that you asked me a question and I do skip it, I do apologize. Just please leave a comment on this video and I will try to make up for it somehow. So I'm just kind of looking at my email notifications because I did kind of keep those. I kind of tend to do that until I've responded to comments, and then in this case I figured this was kind of a fallback, and now I'm glad that I kept them. Okay, so the first comment here that I have is from Robert Nemeth here on YouTube. He says, "Congrats, man." Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it. Femtrooper. Alright, couple of questions here. When did you first realize you were a gamer, and was it the moment you played your first game, or did you have to play a bunch to realize it? Okay, that was the first question, and the second question is, what is your least favorite system and why? So the first question, when you first realized you were a gamer, that's an interesting question because I really don't know for sure. I've always kind of played video games. My parents had an Atari 2600 and an NES. Actually, still the NES that I own since before I was born, and so I mean I kind of grew up around my dad playing Super Mario Brothers and Legend of Zelda and Wizards and Warriors, and and other games too, and I kind of always was around that, and we were actually one of the first families in our area, at least in my group of friends, that actually had a computer at home too. So, my mom would always order like shareware, software, and tons of games and stuff, from these computer magazines, and we load them up on the Windows 3.1 DOS machine, and we played tons of games on there, just quirky, shareware versions of these crappy DOS games. But one of them, of course, stood out above, in front of all of them, and that is most definitely Wolfenstein 3D. And so that's kind of the first game that I really latched on to because I could actually do it. I was actually somewhat, as a kid, somewhat good at it, first easy mode, and eventually when I discovered cheat codes, that was even better. And my uncle actually had the complete version of the game, and I can remember just being so excited when he gave us the complete version of Wolfenstein 3D. I can remember countless hours playing it myself and also watching my dad play it, discovering all the secrets, and just making it through all the stages and getting through all the boss fights and stuff. It was a total blast. So I say the first time that I realized I was a gamer was the first time I played Wolfenstein 3D. And what is your least favorite system and why? If you're familiar with my channel at all, you probably know that I just totally hate the N64, and it's not because it doesn't have good games on it, because I'm sure that there are lots of good games, but quite frankly, controller sucks. That is why, and for me it sucks. I just didn't grow up with the system. I never had one as a kid, so as an adult, getting the system and trying to get a few of the essential games for it and kind of work backwards is just nearly impossible. I can't do it. And I still have the system. I still am looking for a few games that maybe the controller is well suited for. But sadly the games that I have for it are like the Quake ports and Doom 64 and and games that are first-person shooters, basically, that the system is just not really well suited for. It's more for racing games and platformers, and I'm sure those games are fine on it. I just never did get into those. So thank you very much, Film Trooper. Great questions, and yeah, thanks a lot. I appreciate it a lot. Aerodynamish has posted a couple of comments on this video. So before watching the video, just going to say congratulations. Says he'll ask some questions later. Okay, we'll get to those. Ultimate Floyd 1, my good friend Scott. He asked some fantastic questions here. I remember these. Number 1, regenerating health or health bars. Number 2, favorite or least favorite Nintendo franchise. Top 5 metal albums. Favorite RPG battle system. Favorite first-person shooter storyline. Wow, these are ones that I remembered the questions, but I should have looked them up a little bit more because they're going to be tough. So, okay, regenerating health or health bars. I'm not positive what you mean with the question. I'm assuming, am I okay with regenerating health, or do I want to go out and seek out health packs? I'm a cheap gamer. I like it when when it is regenerating health, so I don't have to spend a lot of time and frustration searching out health packs. I know that's completely unrealistic, but so is picking up a health pack and just immediately, having more health. I mean, it's I don't play video games to feel, realistic. I play video games to have fun, and I don't mind regenerating health packs. So if I had to pick one or the other, I would definitely say regenerating health is my favorite of the two. Favorite or least favorite Nintendo franchise. Now, this is tough because I actually don't play that many Nintendo franchises. Of course, I play the Mario Brothers games, but I haven't played a lot of the newer ones. And I've played most of the classics. I've played the Super Nintendo one and all of the NES ones. And I played the new Super Mario Brothers on the DS, but I only played a little bit of Super Mario 64 and a little bit of Super Mario Galaxy 2, but I've pretty much missed out on the rest of them. Never played Sunshine, never played the new Super Mario Brothers games on the Wii or the Wii U, obviously, because I don't have a Wii U. So I don't know. I've played a ton of Zelda games too, and I really love Zelda. But I have a weird relationship with Zelda also. I adore Zelda 1 and 2. I love them, even though 2 is hard and I've never beaten it, if I'm being honest. But I still love it. It's still a fun game. And I never played Link to the Past. I know, blasphemy. I know. I played the Game Boy Advance version of it a little bit, and I just wasn't in love with it. Now, I think part of that was just because I just wasn't in the right mindset to play it, and I was just kind of trying to force myself to play it because everyone says how great it is. So I think if I was in the right mindset, I would probably enjoy it more, because actually Link's Awakening on the Game Boy is actually my favorite Zelda game. And I'm playing Link Between Worlds right now. Spoiler alert, I know, because I haven't finished the game yet. But I love Link Between Worlds. It's really easy, which, to some is kind of a drawback almost. I watched Johnny and Rob Mann's video, their game chat video, and Rob was kind of bummed out that it was really easily because you could rent all the items and stuff. And it's like, I get it. I get what he means, because it's almost boring in that aspect. The game itself is not boring, but that part of it, where the whole point in exploring the dungeons, is not to find these new and helpful items. It's just to get to the end of the dungeon and beat the boss. So I didn't mean to launch into a Zelda discussion, but I would say that Zelda and Mario are probably my favorite two Nintendo franchises. And I really do enjoy the Metroid games too. I've never beaten one. I love Metroid 2 on the Game Boy. Played that a lot, and I really like Super Metroid 2. I never beat it either, but it's a really fun game. And yeah, so I'd say those are my favorites. As far as least favorite goes, I would probably venture to say it's something lesser known. I don't know. I used to be really into Pokemon, really, like, hugely. Um, that actually took the place of most of my gaming for a really long time until I bought newer systems. When I just had a Game Boy, I played the crap out of Pokemon. But I don't know. I really can't pick a least favorite because I like Donkey Kong. I like Pokemon, and there's several that I haven't played that I can't say whether they're my least favorite or not. So we'll just leave it at that. Top 5 metal albums. Holy crap! I am not prepared for this. I can't just pick a top 5. It's a far too tough of a decision. I would say that up there near the top is Tool's Lateralis, or Lateralis, however you want to say it. That is, very close to the top, if not the top, because Tool is arguably my favorite band. Black Sabbath's Paranoid, but also their self-titled, their original. I would put those two actually kind of side by side because actually growing up, the first Sabbath that I heard was on this cassette right here. Black Sabbath, The Collection, Part 1. This was actually one of my very first cassette tapes when I was a kid, and I adore it. I keep it displayed in my game room. And I've actually come across another copy of this, and I actually got Part 2 too, which was awesome. And and on this tape, it's kind of a greatest hits of sorts, but it was like a really older greatest hits. On this Part 1 is every single song from Paranoid, every track, except for 2. Iron Man was not on here, and Fairies Wear Boots was not on here, which is a shame because those are 2 great songs, especially Fairies Wear Boots. And it's also got 3 songs from the self-titled album, Behind the Wall of Sleep, Sleeping Village, and Warning, which is my favorite Sabbath song, hands down, Warning. So I would say actually, I would consider holding one spot would be Black Sabbath's Paranoid and self-titled in one of those slots, because I listen to them together more often than I listen to them separately. Okay, so Tool, Lateralis, Black Sabbath's Paranoid, and self-titled. I gotta turn around and look at my collection here. I cannot deny that I have been a Metallica fan for a very long time. I kind of fell out of Metallica at some point, and so yeah, I can't say that they're I can't say that it's been consistently a love for them, but I would definitely say that Metallica's Ride the Lightning is way up there also. I don't know, man. This is a tough decision. And it all kind of depends on what you consider, metal, because metal itself is such a huge genre. I've been a fan. I don't know if you consider. I consider this metal, but some don't. Kiss's Psycho Circus. I know it's kind of a cheesy album, and let's face it, Kiss is a very cheesy band in general. But I can remember listening to this a lot right when it came out. It actually came out in like 1996 or something like that. 95, 96, something like that. And I can remember when it was brand new in the store, and I begged my parents, of course, to get it, and I got it, and I still have my original copy, and it's just something I listened to so much, and I loved it so much. Oh man, I can't finish the question. Too many great albums. and I'm sure I'll think of one later on. I'm sure, and there's lots of albums that I like that aren't necessarily metal, that are just kind of straightforward rock, which Kiss kind of falls into that category too. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Sabbath and Tool and really kind of Rain. I could easily pick more Tool albums. I could easily pick Anima and Undertow to be on that list too. So we'll move on because this video is already getting windy. Favorite RPG battle system? Gotta go with Final Fantasy X. I don't know, Final Fantasy X was one of those games. Now this is kind of excluding how much I loved Entry and Odyssey and stuff like that, because the battle system in a lot of RPGs is not so dissimilar from the next. At least the ones that I've played. I loved the sphere grid and the leveling up system in Final Fantasy X. So combine the sphere grid with the battle system, and that's kind of the way that I, consider that. I really love that battle system. Favorite first-person shooter storyline? God, I keep having to look at my games and stuff. Doom doesn't really have a storyline, and Doom 3 had a storyline, but it was pretty standard. I gotta go with Halo, of course. Halo has a very epic, long storyline, and it's very good. So we'll go with Halo on that. Thanks, Scott, for the questions, man. Really appreciate that. Thanks for making me look like an idiot who can't just make decisions. Yeah, I'll think of more albums later. Okay, next question is from Vansha Blood Edge. I think it's a newer subscriber of mine, so thanks for the question, man. Really appreciate it. It says congratulations on grats with the 300. Hopefully I'll get there one day with my collection channel. Mine's new. I've watched a couple of videos and I like what I saw, man, so keep it up. What will you do if everything goes digital? Continue collecting older games or think about stopping? Here's where I kind of differ from other gamers, I guess. I really love having physical copies of games. I really do. I'd rather, if I had a choice, and they were the same price. That's the big kicker for me. Is if I had a choice and they were the same price, I would definitely go with physical. But if I don't have a choice, or the price is way different. Case in point, my latest pickup video, I picked up Tales of Vesperia for only $5 on Xbox Live Gold, and in my local GameStop, my fairly local GameStops, every copy that I had seen is $40. Now that's excluding anything online. I didn't really pay much attention to what copies were going for online, but yeah, so $40 compared to $5. Went with digital because it just wasn't that big of a deal to me. And if things eventually go all digital, it's gonna suck kind of, because I would hope that if they do go all digital, that the price kind of goes down. I don't think it will necessarily, but I could hope so. And or there's some incentive, like if you're an Xbox Live Gold member or you're a PlayStation Plus member, you continue to get drastic discounts or even free games, or the incentive to buy games digitally or more games digitally will stay, will raise, will get better. I just got PlayStation Plus actually tonight. It is Valentine's Day, and my lovely, beautiful wife gave me 3 months of PlayStation Plus for Valentine's Day. So very awesome. And I'm downloading like 6 games, right now. I got Borderlands 2, Brothers, Tale of Two Sons, XCOM, Enemy Unknown, Bioshock Infinite, and Metro Last Light, and a couple of other games too, Dyad and Ibanob or whatever it's called. It's like 6 games, for the price of PlayStation Plus 3 months was like $18. I mean, that's fantastic. I mean, I just never done it before, and I kind of regret it because it's such a good deal, but I just hadn't done it yet. So I can see myself leaning more towards that way, buying more digital games, if there's more incentive. So if things decide to go all digital in the future, I don't know, I guess I'll just make that decision what games I want to buy when it comes to it. But as for classic games, I'm not going to stop buying games for older systems that I want, PS3, on down, Xbox 360 on down, Wii, DS, 3DS. I'm not going to stop buying those games. And NES and Super NES, the few holes that I need still filled. I'm not going to stop buying those games. So I'll just keep on keeping on. So thanks for the question, Vansha. Really appreciate it. Andrew Phillips asks the question, when did you first get into first-person shooters, and what were some of the first ones you got into? Kind of already answered that, but that's all right. Wolfenstein 3D was definitely the first one, and loved it. Played the ever-lovin' out of it. And then I can remember getting, actually, Duke Nukem 3D was actually the next one that I got, and then Ultimate Doom after that, of course, and the rest, as they say, is history. Played the crap out of those for years and years. I played SOCOM on the PlayStation 2 fairly early on, and played the crap out of the first Halo on the Xbox, Halo 2, and just, I've kind of worked backwards a lot too. There's a lot of them that I missed in the PC days and in older console days. There was a ton of them that I missed, so I'm working backwards still, and I know that first-person shooters aren't, drastically different from one another, but some of them really stand out from the crowd and are just have a lot to offer. Case in point, like the Red Faction games and stuff like that. So yeah, first-person shooters definitely, arguably my favorite genre. But anyway, thanks for the question, man. That was a nice question. Okay, I'm gonna have to separate this video into a couple of sections and upload them separately, but we'll go ahead and keep on for now. Holy Kill 1, what words people use to describe a game turn you off the most to said games? Example, cinematic or microtransactions. I don't know. Microtransactions it's not necessarily a turnoff, but I guess it kind of is a turnoff, because if I hear that the game has microtransactions, I wonder what the hell for, and then I probably just don't play it. I like cinematic games though; those are nice. I don't know. I really real-time strategy. When people say that, I'm kind of turned off, or like a card-based game. I'm just not interested in learning that really complex thing, that really complex card system. Other than like Pokemon trading card game, I never really got into any other card games. I always kind of wanted to play Magic the Gathering, but I always figured it was just too expensive of a hobby that no one would ever play around me. So yeah, I just never bothered. And I thought of another one and I can't remember what it is now. Oh, MMOs. Yeah, no. I have somewhat of an addictive personality, and I could just see myself just losing my shit over MMO. So I just stay away from them altogether. And I think that's probably for the better. So thanks a lot, man. Very great question. Very good question. Very good question. Thank you. Devil May Pie, Dan the Man. Killing me, man. You're killing me with these questions. Favorite Maiden album. This one's easy though, because I already saw it up here on the shelf. Favorite Maiden album. Okay. Favorite one that I own is Peace of Mind. Love Peace of Mind. Who doesn't? Honestly, if you're a Maiden fan, you've heard Peace of Mind and you enjoy it. It's a great album. But I would actually say my favorite is kind of one of the more unsung ones, and Crack Lotus actually just showed it in the vinyl copy of it in a video not too long ago, and that has got to be Somewhere in Time. That is a great album, and in my opinion, it is an unsung album of theirs. You don't hear about it too much. My favorite song on there has probably got to be The Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner and Alexander the Great. Those are just two fantastic songs. What do you want to see in Doom 4? You know, I've never really thought about it. I want to see, unlike most Doom fans, I'm sure, I want to see more, like, in the direction that they took Doom 3. Like, I want to see, but on the BFG edition, with the flashlight. I want the flashlight to be armor mounted. I don't want to have to do that switching crap. No, none of that. I don't know. I liked Doom 3 an awful lot. I really did, and I don't know. Maybe I don't want to say that I think that they should have gone more classic style action based, because they kind of did that, with Doom 1 and 2 out of necessity. I mean, what else were they going to do? I don't know. It worked. The formula worked very well, and obviously people are still playing the crap out of it so many years later. I think this is the 20th anniversary year of Doom. So I don't know, man. That's a really great question, though. Its release date is what that's what I most want to see in Doom 4 is its release date. I want to see it happen, because who knows if it will or not. All right, now the most epic question: name your favorite in Final Fantasy X. Favorite boss? I don't know. I struggled a long time, like many people did, with Evray, the big serpent dragon thing. Most people had a lot of trouble with that. Sorry, my nose is just crazy right now. A lot of people had trouble with it. A lot of people got stuck at that fight because, for some reason, everybody seems to be underleveled when they get to that point, and so your choice is just to either revert to an older save or like just kind of power through it or just give up. Keep trying. And what's even worse with the Evray fight is not very much long after you have to fight him again. And I hate to spoil it because the 10.10.2 anniversary edition is getting ready to come out. But there's a trick, and it's if you're familiar with Final Fantasy, once you get to him the second time, you should know this trick, and to beating him. I don't want to say anymore. I will say the Evray fight was probably one of the most memorable fights. You're standing on top of this airship flying way up high, and this huge flying dragon serpent thing attacks you, and it's just an epic fight. It's a very good battle. I also was a big fan of the Ronso fight later on. I can't remember their names. Oh, that's going to bug me that I can't remember the two Ronsos that you have to fight names. Oh, man. Somebody's going to just ream me in the comment section. But anyway, you face Kamari's past. Two of his old Ronso, buddies, brothers, confront you on Mount Gagazet, and you're forced to use Kamari in battle, which for me was a big freaking. I hated it because I hadn't used Kamari in the game. The first playthrough, I hadn't used him. He was so underleveled, And when I got to that fight, it was just like, oh god, because you can't switch him out. You have to use it because you're fighting his rivals. You know, his Kimari or his Ronso brothers. So that was kind of an epic fight. It's not really a boss fight per se, but it is a required fight. So I guess you could say it's a boss fight. And yeah, it was just really kind of an emotional fight, and it was just a good fight. I really liked it. And then every playthrough after that, I made sure that Kimari at least had some oomph to him. Favorite location? Macalania Woods. It's pretty high up there. Or Calmlands. I was just a big fan of the Calmlands. I love how huge it was. I mean, and you could spend so much time just in this flat landscape. You know, it was crazy how long it took to get from A to B. And the chocobos helped a lot because you could actually like ride the chocobo around and stuff. But yeah, I really liked the Calmlands. But I think Macalania Woods was really nice. And of course, I'm always a big fan of the kind of post-apocalyptic setting. So the whole game, really, you know, because you see all these ruins everywhere and kind of overgrowth stuff. But of course, I really liked Zanarkand proper also. Characters besides Yuna, like I said, I really kind of had a newer appreciation for Kimari. I really like Kimari. I really like Auron, but who doesn't? Auron's a total badass. Yeah, Auron's great. And Wakka, I like Wakka's story too, and Wakka and Lulu's story, like with Chapu, and yeah, I mean the whole thing was nice. And what I really wanted in a 10-2 was more of maybe even like almost like a backstory, because they had all this history with Jecht and with Auron and Yuna's dad, drawing a blank. It's like they could have done so much like throwback to that stuff. If, you know, I don't know. It'd be cool if like an X3 comes out and it was like a prequel to 10. That would be nice, but yeah, that's not going to happen. Favorite Overdrive. I don't remember all the names of them. I don't know. It seemed like Titus had like a slice and dice one that was pretty cool, and all of Auron's were awesome. I think he had like 3. Yeah, and they were all just like totally awesome. Yeah, I don't remember any specific names. Sorry, it's actually been a little bit since I played it. It's probably been 4 years. 2010, I think, was the last time I played it. So yeah, that's a long time. I should probably pick up the HD collection and play it again. It might happen. And minigame. Oh man, I just can't recall any specific minigames that I enjoyed that much. I hated Blitzball. I hate it still. I have just never caught the hang of it. I don't know why. Just haven't got the hang of it. So I don't like Blitzball, and I don't know. I don't know if you consider it a minigame, I guess, because it's something that you had to do to get the celestial weapons, is like going to all the different regions and killing all the different kinds of monsters and capturing them. I mean, that was kind of cool because it forced you to kind of revisit every place in the game. And I guess also in the cloisters, the cloister trials, I liked trying to figure out some of those puzzles. That was kind of fun too. I guess you can consider that a mini game. I don't know, but yeah, that's it. That's my Final Fantasy X nostalgia trip there. So thanks a lot, Danny, for that question. It was really great. All right, thus ends part 1 of the Q&A video. This is 35 minutes long, and so I'll see you back in what will be just like a few seconds for me. So thanks for watching. Doomwaves out.